massage your forehead on the mat, turning your head side to side. You might also feel the stretch in your shoulders. Stretching the fingertips to the front. Keep sinking your hips to the heels. Twisting the child's pose, stacking the forearms in front of my knees, reaching one arm up as you inhale. Try and stack the shoulders on top of each other. And change sides. Inhale, reaching up with the other arm. You do about 3 each way, so take your time. And exhale, change. In your own time, I'm doing a couple more each way. Turn it into a nice stretch in your back, maybe your shoulders, but you're also feeling your hips opening. Keep lengthening the crown of your head to the front of the mat, so your spine is going to be fairly straight when you do the twist. And I'm doing my last one, take your time. Once you've done your last one, reach the fingertips to the front. And let's find your first downward dog straight away. Getting there slowly. And pedaling the heels out once you're there. Feet hip distance, hands shoulder distance. Lengthen your neck. Turn your head side to side to check in with the neck. Drop your knees, sink onto your front. Starting with mini cobras, pressing feet into the mat, long neck, elbows pointing to the back. Inhale, lift halfway only, or even less than that. Exhale, come onto the mat. Inhale, lift, pressing feet into the mat. Exhale onto the mat. One more time. Keep lengthening tailbone to the back of the mat. Inhale, lift, check in with your neck. It's still long. Exhale, come back. Sit into child's pose. Inhale, sit back. Tug the toes under. Lift up into camel. I'm starting out slowly. Squeezing glutes once you stack the hips and shoulders. I'm pressing hands into the lower back. You might be ready for more. I'm activating glutes. Squeezing shoulder blades, elbows pointing to the back. Maybe drop the head back if it feels good on your neck. Look forward. Going through child's pose, find downward dog. Spread fingertips. Bum up high. Slide bending the knees if you need to focus on the shoulders. Come forward into high plank. You can drop the knees anytime you want, otherwise I'm going onto my elbows, dropping the right elbow onto the mat, dropping the left elbow onto the mat, finding forearm plank. Dropping the knees is good. Long neck, shoulders away from the ears. Long spine, tucking tailbone. Lift your bum up into dolphin. I know it's quite long. Start feeling the stretch in the shoulders. Come back into plank. Tug the tailbone. Push your bum up into dolphin. Focus on stretching shoulders. Exhale, plank position. Tucking tailbone, finding core muscles. One more time, push your bum up. And back into plank. Hold it for one more breath. And again, dropping your knees is good. We push back on into high plank. Make sure you start with your right palm. Right palm comes flat. Left palm comes flat. First chaturanga, you can drop the knees. Inhale forward, exhale, sink onto your front. Locust. Roll shoulders back, press feet onto the mat. Prepare your back. Point fingertips to the back, thumbs out. Straight elbows. Lift the arms. Squeeze the glutes if you want to lift the legs with straight knees. Lengthen the back of the neck. Feel the back muscles working. Think about drawing belly button away from the mat. And bring it onto the mat. Hands under your shoulders. Lengthen lower back. Sit into child's pose. Tug the toes around your back and prepare for camel. Activating glutes, same as before, is good. Open the front of your body. See if you want to reach down to one heel. If you want to come with me, I'm doing one arm at a time, other arm reaching up and maybe leaning back. And I'm doing the other side. So I'm opening the front of your shoulders, the front of your body, and come back to center. Going through child's pose, find downward dog. Find static stretch. Focus on shoulders. Maybe drop the heels towards the mat. Come forward into high plank. Going into forearm plank. I'm dropping the left elbow. You can drop the knees if you want. I'm dropping the right elbow. Find a plank with long spine, feet hip distance. Long neck, shoulders away from the ears. Push your bum up into dolphin. Inhale as tailbone goes up. Sternum towards the ankle. Exhale, tuck tailbone, plank position. Twice more if you can. Or wait for me in any position you want. One more time. Plank as you tug the tailbone. Dolphin as you push the tailbone up. Come back into plank. Find the core muscles and push up into upper press up position, high plank. Left hand first, right hand second. Chaturanga. Push forward, inhale. Exhale, sink onto your front. Locust. Roll the shoulder blades together. Activate upper back. Arms straight, thumbs pointing outwards. Squeeze glutes and lift the legs if it's there. One more breath. Release the hands, feet onto the mat, lengthen lower back. Sit into camel. Going through child's pose first. Tug the toes or untug them. Choose the next level if you want, or stay with the previous. I'm activating glutes. I'm reaching both arms. Pushing hips above the knees. And maybe look up at the ceiling. Release. Child's pose. Slowly. Reaching arms to the front, finding the rounded back, bum up and stretch. One more breath. And find yogic squat in the front. Step or hop up to you, feet wide, heels flat. Wiggle your bum towards the mat. Take your time to get there. Opening hips. Groin, inner thighs, and then lift the strong spine once you're ready. Elbows in the insides of the knees, strong back, shoulders away from the ears. One more breath. Bring the hands onto the mat, bum up, feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift, long back. Exhale, fold. See if you want to move around, maybe swing, any movement you need, or just hang your head and have a slight bend in the knees to protect your back, your hamstrings, as you're starting to stretch the muscles. Loosen your neck as well, whatever you're doing, and breathe. Hook your hands up on your shins, rounding back, restacking vertebra. Roll the shoulders out on the top, sweep the arms up, inhale. Let's do a couple of side bends. I've got the hands in prayer position. Exhale, side bend to your right. Make sure your spine is long. You're lengthening the left side of your body. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, side bend to your left, lengthening the right side of your core. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, one more each way, right side bend. Back to center, inhale. Side bend to your left. Back to center, inhale, look up, lengthen up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sweep around, straight away, reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold and bending knees, diving from the hips. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, high plank, step or hop. Push forward, inhale, exhale, chaturanga, leave it out, mid-knee downward dog, because straight away I'm going into cobra or upward dog. Lengthen the neck and take your time with the first one. Draw the belly button in as you're going through child's pose if you need to, downward dog. Take one more breath. Inhale, lift your heels, look to the front, exhale, make your way to the front, feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Crane practice, drills, unless you're ready, go straight into it. Spreading fingertips, bending knees if you need to. Come onto tippy toes. Kneecaps on the very top of your triceps. The back of your hands if you can. You might just want the drills. You might want to lift into it. Take another breath and land in forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. I'm coming up with a flat back, bending knees generously. Flatten the back first. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm keeping the feet hip distance. Think about a chair, but it's more of a squat. Sit back, inhale. Arms by the ears if you want. Exhale, forward fold. I still have the feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg steps to the back. Runner's lunge. Frame the left foot. Take your time with the first one. Stretch out the front of your hips. Lift the chest, bend the left knee. I'm dropping right knee. Sweep the arms up, crescent moon. Take a big inhale. Exhale, interlace the fingers in the back, opening the shoulders. Open the heart up, inhale. If you can, lift the back knee off now as you exhale, coming into a high lunge. I'm going to wait here. If you need the hands on the knee first, feel free. Hold it for one more breath. Release the arms up, crescent lunge. Take a big inhale. Exhale, straight into warrior two, right heel flat. Open the arms. Sink into the left knee. Inhale, flip the left palm and reverse the warrior. You can bind if you want. Exhale, side angle. I'm starting elbow on the knee, or maybe go on the outside of the left foot if you want, or put the block there. Turn the right shoulder up. I'm still holding the bind. Just for another breath while I'm bending the left knee. And sweep the right arm up if you haven't done it yet. Extend it, right bicep to the ear as you inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms down to frame the left foot and find runner's lunge. Sweep the left heel behind you, three-legged dog. Take a big inhale. Squeeze the left glute as you exhale, open, stack. Bend the left knee, pull the heel to your bum. Take one more breath. Come into pigeon. Leveling hips as you inhale. Exhale, pull the left shin behind the wrists. And settle into pigeon to start the glute stretch. It will be a quick one. Lift the chest. Please remember this in the future if you want to protect any back or knee issues, or maybe glutes. That's good for me. Hands flat. Push back into three-legged dog. Take a big inhale. Open up again. And flip the dog if you want. I know it's early days. Wild thing. Lifting right heel, come onto left fingertips. And land the left foot. I'm landing the hip. I need a bit of time to prepare. Bum down. Inhale. As you exhale, press into the feet. And open the body off to the ceiling. Turn into a high plank. You can leave out chaturanga. It will be a quick one. If you're coming with me, inhale forward, exhale, sink through. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Let's meet there. If you need to leave out the chaturanga today, please do that. I will tell you when we are staying on our front. And just meet me in downward dog. Inhale, look to the front, lift the heels. Exhale, feet hip distance in the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward. Crane practice or dangle down. You've got about 3 breaths. Drills are good. They will strengthen your wrists. Don't forget your core. Don't forget to look in front of your fingertips. And take that friction on the back of your arm. Feet lean forward, forward with the feet hip distance. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, forward. Sweep up from the hips, flat back, bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale as the heart center. Release the arms by your side, feet hip distance. Sit into a squat or chair. Inhale. Arms by your ears if you can. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot steps to the back. Runner's lunge. Taking your time to start the hip flexor stretch on the left side. Lift the chest. Bend the right knee. Drop the left knee. Sweep the arms up into crescent moon. Inhale. Exhale, open the chest. Interlace the fingers in the back. Turn the heart up. Inhale. Feel the chest stretching. If you're ready to take the back knee off into high lunge. If not, take your time. Meet us in high lunge. And maybe interlace the fingers if it's there. Sweep the arms up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Arms in a T, left heel flat. Lengthen stance if you need to, bend the right knee. Reverse the warrior, flip the right palm, reach up. You can bind if you want, or rest the left hand on the thigh. Side angle, elbow on the hand on the outside of your right foot. Turn the left shoulder up. And I'm releasing the bind, left fingertips up. Extend the side angle with me, left bicep to the ear, inhale. Exhale, sweep down and frame the right foot, lift the left heel. Right heel up, 3-legged dog. Inhale as you lift and squeeze the right glute. Exhale, open and stack. Inhale, level hips. Exhale, right shin forward into pigeon. Just a gentle stretch here, a quick one. So find a position that doesn't hurt your knee. I'm lengthening the spine here. You might feel the stretch in your right glute. There shouldn't be pain in your knee. Hands flat. Tug the back toes. Sweep up into three-legged dog. Inhale, right heel up. Again, open and stack on the top. And see if you want to flip the dog into wild thing. Lifting left heel. Landing right foot. I'm dropping the hip so I can prepare for a big inhale. And then lift the hips if it's there as you exhale. Turn into high plank. Meet me in downward dog, going through chaturanga or not, up to you. Inhale forward if you're coming with me, exhale sink through. Inhale cobra upward dog. Exhale downward dog. Let's drop the elbows again into dolphin. You can drop the knees first. Land the elbows preferably no wider than your shoulders. Push that tailbone up. Push the sternum to the heels. And feel the stretch in the shoulders. Now imagine you're pressing into your elbows. So as you press into the elbows, your tailbone should be going higher. You should feel the strength in the shoulders. As you're trying to push your tailbone towards the ceiling, just by pressing into the elbows. Come back into downward dog. Give it a stretch in downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Look forward, exhale, feet hip distance in the front. Inhale halfway. And exhale, dangle down, or have another go with your crane. Take another 3 breaths and do what you need to do. Make sure you're breathing. Meet me in forward fold. And give it another halfway lift. And then fold onto the thighs again. Let's balance. Supported warrior 3. I'm putting fingertips onto the mat, well ahead of my toes. Using blocks now is brilliant. Try lengthen the back, bend the knees more if you need to, and draw belly button in. Sticking right foot to the back, lifting right heel slightly higher than the hip, flexing the right foot and leveling the hips. Imagine you're sending your right heel towards the back of the room. So you're lengthening the right side of your waist. Bend your left knee a little bit more. And turn into half moon pose. Turn the right shoulder and hip up. Reach the right fingertips up. Flex the right foot out to the side. I've got plenty of bend in the left knee to protect my hamstrings. Now bend the left knee even more. You might have to lift your shoulders slightly higher. See if you can take your left fingertips off the block or the mat. And just hover the left fingertips. Now please be very careful with the next one. Either bend the left knee more or put the left fingertips on the mat. I'm going to turn into warrior 3 without any support from the hands. I'm going to start turning the hips. Bringing the arms by my side, leveling the hips and shoulders. And then see if you can straighten the left leg. And then find a nice horizontal line on the top. Hold for one more breath. My left calf, hamstrings and glutes are on fire. Bend the left knee slightly and dive onto the mat for a standing split. Ooh, I'm trying to frame the left foot. And then lift the right heel. And hold. Bring the chest towards the side. By all means, help with the left hand to grab the back of your left thigh somewhere, calf. Or just find your balance. Make sure you can hold it. One more breath. And bring the right foot onto the mat in line with the left foot, forward fold. I'm giving it a halfway lift. I'm bending the knees, it's lovely. And exhale, fold. Very slowly restack the vertebra. Walk the hands up on the thighs. And shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it out. We're going for the other side. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward. Please do it slowly and very controlled. Once you've got the forward fold, just grab the back of your thighs for a sec and maybe just stretch. Supported warrior 3. Fingertips are coming towards the front. I'm bending both legs. Leveling hips, shoulders, belly button in. Left heel is lifting behind you. Flexing the foot. That's the big difference between warrior 3 and half moon pose. With warrior 3, you've got the shoulders and the hips level. With half moon pose, you're stacking the shoulders and hips. So just find the strength in the left glute. Bend your right knee more to protect your hamstring. Start turning the left shoulder, hip, fingertips towards the ceiling into half moon pose. Fix your gaze. Have as much bend in the right knee as you need it. Flex the left foot out. Feel the stacked shoulders and hips. Strength with is coming. I'm bending right knee. I'm going to be very careful on the hamstrings. Starting to lift the shoulders to hover the right fingertips off. Draw the belly button in. Draw it in. No back pain. I'm bending right knee even more. Start leveling the hips, warrior 3. Turning really slowly, arms by my side. Leveling hips, shoulders, flexing the left foot to the mat. And then straightening the right leg. Lengthen between the crown of your head and the left heel one more time. Hold. Bend your right knee and dive the fingertips to the mat, standing split. Lift the left heel, squeeze the left glute. Find that stretch in the right hamstrings, it's nice and warm. See if you want the right hand in the back of your right leg somewhere. See if you want to pull or just hold. Feel the stretch and the work at the same time. And bring the left foot onto the mat. Feet hip distance. Inhale halfway, just to lengthen the back. I need to bend my knees. And exhale forward just for a split second. And I walk the hands up on the thighs. Bend the knees, round your back. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Let's do your flow again. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale as the heart center, feet are hip distance, and let's start from the squat. You can sit your bum all the way onto the heels if you want. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway, excuse me. Exhale, right leg goes to the back, runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge straight away. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. Right heel flat. Open up into a T. I'm leaving out bits and pieces. We are going fast. Inhale, reverse and bind if it's there. Exhale, side angle. I'm bringing left fingertips on the outside of the left foot. Turn the right shoulder up. Reach the right arm up. Extend the side angle right bicep to the ear. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep the arms down. Runner's lunge. Inhale, left heel up. Three-legged dog. This time, keep the hips square. Exhale, active pigeon. I'm going to bring the right knee onto the mat. I'm practically staying on my knee, but I'm turning the left foot out to the right side of the mat. Drawing back button in, I'm keeping the back knee off and lifting the arms up. Here, the pigeon is good, but have a go and please be careful. Sweep the arms onto the mat. Push back into three-legged dog, open and stack this time. Lift the left heel, inhale. Stack and open, exhale. Back bend if you want. Wild thing. I'm dropping hip, sweeping arm around and lifting back up. High plank. Leave out chaturanga if you want. Or come forward, inhale, elbows pointing to the back. Exhale, sink through. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, make your way to the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. 3 breaths to fold or crane. Drills are good. Strengthen wrists. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Meet me in forward fold. And sweep the arms up. Come all the way into standing position. Inhale. Exhale as to heart center. Release the arms, other side. Squat halfway or all the way. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot to the back, runner's lunge. Long step, please. Inhale, crescent lunge, sweep up. Exhale, warrior 2. Left heel flat, arms in a T. Sink into right knee. Inhale, reverse. Right fingertips up, bind if you want. Exhale, side angle, elbow on the knee or fingertips on the outside of the right thigh. Turn the left shoulder up. Reach the left arm up. Inhale, left bicep to ear, extending side angle. Exhale, runner's lunge, sweep the arms down. Inhale, sweep the right heel up, 3-legged dog, keep the hips square. Exhale, pigeon or active pigeon. Think about where you're putting the knee. Sweeping the arms up if you're ready. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Sweep the right leg up, 3-legged dog, open and stack this time. Wild thing if you want to flip. I'm dropping hip, circling arm around, lifting hip for 1 more breath. High plank. Hold your high plank. Hold. Hold. Come into a forearm plank again. This time I'm stacking one forearm in front of the other. Take your time to get there. Side plank. I'm on your elbows. I'm not yours, obviously mine. I'm flicking the heels to my left, not that it matters too much. And reach the top arm up. This is my right arm. Stack the shoulders, hips. Good time to bend the bottom knee and pull the heel into your bum if you want a 3/4. Put the top fingertips around your ears. Point the top elbow up and lift the hip higher. Staying here is good. Otherwise, take a big inhale as you exhale. Touch the top elbow to the bottom elbow or the mat. Keep the feet flat. Inhale, reach back up, hip high. Exhale, touch down as far as you manage. Keep the feet flat. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the hips high. 2 more. Make sure the feet are not coming off the mat, the heels are staying flat. 1 more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Reach back up. Reach the fingertips up. Great news, you're done on this side. Turn back into a forward plank, which is your forearm plank. I'm sorry, feet hip distance. Excellent time to take a break. Or stay with me and hold. And let's do the other side. Let's get it out of the way. Heels are over. Lifting the arm, hip high, stack shoulders and hips. I'm keeping the feet in a scissor position still. Fingertips around the ears on the top. Lift the hip a little bit higher. Staying here is good. 5 times. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, bring that top elbow towards the mat. Inhale, reach up. Keep the hip high. Exhale, twist. Make sure you're keeping the feet flat, the heels flat, wherever they are, mainly the top heel. And I've got 1 more to go. Oh, sorry, I've got 2 more. I'm a total liar. Wishful thinking. 1 more. Inhale, open, keep the hip high. Exhale, twist. Come back, reach back up. Reach the fingertips up. Turn into a plank. Hold. And drop your knees, sit back into child's pose. I might just reach the arms to the front, onto the fingertips to stretch the shoulders. But anything that pleases you, maybe just relax your arms. Maybe relax them by your side. Find downward dog. Going through your flow twice more each way, fairly quickly. Leave out bits and pieces. Hello, just wait for Paul. Take a big inhale whilst he's joining us. Look forward, exhale, step or jump the feet to the front, feet hip distance. Inhale halfway. And exhale, fold. And I think we are ready. Sweep all the way into standing position. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release the arms and let's go for it. Feet hip distance, squat or chair all the way or halfway. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, right leg back, runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms up. Exhale, warrior 2, right heel flat. Inhale, reverse, left arm up, bind if it's there. Exhale, side angle, left fingertips on the outside if you're going to the mat. Turn the right shoulder up. Reach the right fingertips up. Right bicep to ear. To extend the side angle, inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge, sweep the arms to the mat. Left heel up, 3-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, pigeon, active if you want. Drop the knee onto the mat. I'm keeping back knee off. Sweep the arms up, inhale. I'm on my shin. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Left heel up. Open and stack this time. And if you want, wild thing, flip the dog. I'm dropping the hip to inhale. I'm lifting the hips. Exhale. Leaving out chaturanga is good. But as I'm turning into high plank, inhale, straight away, sinking through, exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. You can play with that. I'm going to take 1 breath here. know what you can do if you want in the future, if you want to play. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, step or jump, feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Sweep into a standing position. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Other side. Sweep the arms around. Inhale, sit back into squat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot to the back, runner's lunge. Sweep the arms up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, left heel flat. Reverse, right palm up. Inhale, bind if you want. Exhale, side angle, elbow on the knee or fingertips on the outside. Turn the left shoulder up. Reach the left arm up. Left bicep to the ear to extend the side angle. Inhale and exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, sweep the right heel up, three-legged dog. Exhale, pigeon, active if you want. I'm on my shin. Once you have the core strength, sweep the arms up. Inhale, I'm feeling it in my right glute working. And exhale, hands down. Sweep the right heel up, three-legged dog, open and stack. Flip the dog if you want the back bend. I'm dropping left hip. Inhale. Exhale, open. Lift the hips high. Leaving out chaturanga is good, but try your best to flip and inhale to prepare and exhale, sink through. Let's go. I'm holding it in downward dog for one more breath. Inhale, bend the knees, look to the front. Exhale, step or jump, feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Stand all the way up. Sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more each way. You know the drill. Release the arms. Inhale, squat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, right leg to the back, runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms up. Exhale, right heel flat, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, left arm up, bind if you want. Exhale, side angle, left fingertips are coming down or elbow. Reach the right arm up. Right bicep to the ear. Extend the side angle. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms down. Left heel up, three-legged dog. Inhale. Straight into pigeon. Left shin to the front. Active or passive. Sweep the arms up. Inhale if you can. Exhale, arms down. Left heel up, three-legged dog. Open and stack. Exhale. And you've got one more wild thing. I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. You can do a wheel if it's there. I'm dropping hip. Inhale. Exhale, opening up. Anytime you want to come out of it, meet me in downward dog. I'm holding it for 3, for 2, and for 1. I'm inhaling into high plank. Exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. One more breath here. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, step or jump. Feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Come up into standing. Sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one. Release the arms. Squat. Halfway or all the way. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot back, runner's lunge. Sweep the arms up, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the right palm and reverse, bind if you want, inhale. Exhale, side angle. Turn the left shoulder up. Reach the left fingertips up. Left bicep to the ear. Extend the side angle, inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms down. Right heel up, three-legged dog, inhale. Preparing for pigeon. Exhale, step that right knee to the front. Shin down. Find the tummy strength, glute strength. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, arms down. One more time, sweep the right heel up, open and stack. Bend the right knee. And flip it if you want. I'm dropping hip to prepare, inhale. And exhale, hold. I'm holding it for 3. For 2. For 1. Flip into chaturanga, high plank, inhale. And exhale, sink. Inhale, cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Hold. Hold your downward dog. Drop the knees. One more camel if you want, or wait in child's pose. Choose your camel. Take it into as advanced as you want. Making sure it's working the glutes. It's opening in the front of the body. Hips above the knees if you can. Feel the opening. And sit into child's pose. While I'm changing the music, have a little thing. We'll have some reclining hero pose, which can be quite aggressive on the knees. If you have a block, it might come handy. Pop the block underneath your bum if you need it. And just sit between your heels. And that might be enough. If you want to take it further, before we lay back though, we'll be doing a little bit of shoulder stretch. If you want to take it further, I'm moving the calf muscles out of the way and try and sit my bum between the heels. Watch what happens with the knees. There shouldn't be pain. If it's a stretch, that's all good. If you just want to sit on your heels like that, knees together, that's fine. Make sure you can be there for a little bit longer. I'm going to stretch out the back of your shoulders. Shoulders back, make sure you can lift the spine. Right arm comes across, left arm underneath, and just press the arm onto the chest. And release the shoulders away from the ears. Look over your right shoulder, just for a breath. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center, or maybe turn your head whichever way it felt good. Carry on with eagle pose with the arms if you want, meeting left fingertips with the right palm. See if you want to slouch. And that might nicely open up the back of your shoulders. If you want to stay here, go straighten up and lift the fingertips towards the ceiling. See if you want to bring both elbows across to your right. I'm still looking to the front. Come back to center and over to the other side. Come back to center and release the arms. Now you might feel at this point, this is too much on my knees. So just for a sec, maybe come out of the position and stretch it out the other way. We are coming back to the same position. So think about it. If this is too much, just sit yourself on your heels or even sit yourself on your bum, and that's all good. I'm coming back down to the same position, but you might even feel that, okay, I think I'm ready to sit a bit lower, maybe removing the block. If not, again, find something that's comfy on your knees. Sitting upright, left arm comes to the front, across, and the right arm underneath it. Press it onto your chest, release the shoulders away from the ears. Turn your head over your left shoulder, make sure your spine is long. Turn your head the other way. Come back to center. Staying here is good, or carry on if you want the eagle pose. Right fingertips meet the left palm. The first thing I do, I slouch, letting the shoulder blades glide away from each other. Drop your chin to the chest. Staying here is lovely, I think, but if you want more, see what happens if you straighten up and lift the fingertips towards the ceiling. Bring the elbows over to your right, looking to the front, or maybe over to your left if it feels good. Back to center, over to the other side. And come back to center. Release the arms. Now I'm going to take it into a hero pose, a reclining hero pose. Just rolling the shoulders back, again, coming out of the position and maybe just waiting in downward dog or on your front and grabbing the ankles for a quad stretch is all good. Otherwise, scoop the pelvis and see how far you want to go back. Again, having a block here, maybe just helping you a bit, that's good. But see, you might be able to really lean back on your hand. Guys, if you know you're reclining hero pose, don't wait for me. I like to squeeze the stomach and scoop the pelvis, and that protects my back. You can go onto your elbow, and you can go all the way onto your back. But again, being very, very careful and finding your position that doesn't hurt your knees. Opening the front of your body, the quads. Just take another 3 breaths. If you've had enough of that, by all means start coming out of the position and meet me in downward dog. That's probably the nicest one after this. And when you're ready, gradually make your way out of it. I need to tuck the elbows under. I need to come onto the hands. And then very slowly, I'm making my way through child's pose. And the downward dog is going to open my heels, calves, and hamstrings. Pedal it out, whatever movement you need, or hold a static stretch. Find yourself on your bum. I'm just dropping the knees, but however you get there, just find a way. Once you're there, we are stretching the back of your legs this time because we've really quite scrunched them up. Grab a strap. Might be quite nice with the strap. Starting with the forward fold. Lengthening the back, maybe slide bending the knees, and then fold. Once you're in this stretch, have a little play. See if you want to straighten the knees. See if you want to flex the feet. See if you want to relax the feet. See where the stretch is. Once you found it, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Breathe out of the forward fold very slowly. Hang on to your back. Let's do the glutes and a spinal twist. Find your own stretches if you've got the ones that work better for you. I'm going to do the figure 4. Right heel across the left thigh. I flex the right foot and find a stretch. Find what works on your right hip, what gets to your right glute. You know your options. Relaxing head and shoulders onto the mat is always good. So you can focus on the long breaths and use your exhalation to increase the stretch. Slowly release the stretch. I'm doing the glutes on the other side. Send the right leg away from you for a second, shake it out. And then I'm bringing the left heel across the right thigh. Again, your stretch. Get there in your own time. Avoiding any knee pain. Relax head and shoulders onto the mat. Tune into the long breaths and use the exhalation to increase the stretch. Release the glute stretch. I've got right foot flat, left leg long. Moving the hips over to my right slightly, preparing for spinal twist. Hugging right knee into the chest, sending it across to your left. Again, using your own spinal twist is good. I'm looking over right shoulder, focusing on keeping right shoulder blade flat. Close your eyes. As you breathe out, relax the muscles around your hips, lower back. Relax, come back to center. Left foot flat for me, sending the hips to my left, straightening the right knee. Left knee into your chest and across to your right. Looking over the left shoulder, keeping left shoulder blade flat. Slowly move onto your right side, bringing the left arm over, bending the right knee. And if and when you're ready, push yourselves up into a seated position. I promise we're almost there. We just stretch out your sides, the IT band. No, I'm lying. The QM muscle just before we finish with the neck stretches. You have the option to extend both legs. And I've got one hand down. Sorry, that's not what I'm doing. I'm bending one knee and I'm leaning away from that knee. As long as you keep that bum cheek flat, you have the option to extend both knees in a wide-legged seated position. And make sure you're sending the glutes on the mat while you're reaching up and leaning over. You're feeling the side stretching. Turn the armpit up to the ceiling. Feel the lengthening and the space increasing between the last rib and the hip bone. Slowly come back to center and then change to the other side. If you want to bend the leg that you're leaning away from, it might be a good thing to do, or keep it extended. See which one you choose. Make sure you keep the hip bone, the sitting bone flat, and you feel the stretch in your side. And then slowly come back up. Get the legs comfy. Finishing off with the neck stretches. Sitting upright. Shoulders back. Drop the ear to the shoulder one way. Other way. Come back to center and drop the chin to the chest. I'm just going to turn to the side, stretching the back of your neck. See if you want to slouch here. It might be quite nice in the back of your shoulders, the neck. Release the head and straighten your spine. And roll the head one way to finish off the neck stretches. Other way. Back to center. Lift your chin, take a big inhale, sweep the arms up at the same time. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Bow your head. Namaste.